Hey everyone, Sergio here with the Rideshare Guy. What do we say on Show Me the Money Club? Work smarter, not harder. If you aren't using the Solo app, which I have been for the past year and a half, you may be working a lot harder than you need to. Let's change that. Download the app, link your account where you can manage your income, track your expenses, as well as your taxes. Not only that, but you can plan by optimizing your time, make more money, and even guarantee your daily pay with guaranteed earnings. Download the Solo app today. Begin to work smarter, not harder. Link is in the description. Let's get back to it.
All right, let's move on to our first real driver topic. And let me get the right slide. And that is Uber's reimbursing drivers for unpaid tolls.
Yeah, so I received this from a viewer. I got in touch with Uber, and this driver had definitely a proper claim about this. And so after back and forth, Uber said, yep, you're right. We did not adjust for the toll increase. Okay. But that's why I said but with 3 dots on the topic. So as we know, so it says, starting on 7/1/2025, the highway this gentleman travels quite often, the toll went up and Uber never adjusted for it. Now, I do understand Uber's point of view, right? Tolls change all the time, and I'm sure with their technology, they should have some sort of way to keeping track when tolls go up and reimburse drivers accordingly or correctly, right? And they looked into his back, the trips in, from the past, and 52 trips were only reimbursed 211 instead of 217. There's a lot of toll roads all over the country. There's much less so in California, but a lot of states have tons of toll roads. And I do get quite a few emails, by the way, that they didn't reimburse this, they didn't do that. The only thing that I want to pay attention to this one is they did credit him back to Uber's credit. So thank you, Uber, for listening, and thank you for fixing the problem. But it says here, moving forward, do you see that on the second screenshot? Moving forward, per our standard policy, all toll discrepancies should be reported within 10 days of change. Any report made outside of this time frame may not be reimbursed. Uber, it is your job. It is not the driver's job to figure out that the toll went up and ask you for the difference. It is your job to figure out when tolls are changing and adjust your billing accordingly. I don't think so. In one hand, Uber said, yep, we miscalculated, we're going to give you the money back. On the other hand, it throws it on the driver saying, if you see a discrepancy, you guys got to let us know within 10 days of the change. I don't think that's the driver's job, is it, Chris?
I mean, any pay discrepancy should be reported quickly, but
I know, but if a toll is changing,
yeah, but how easy is that? You would literally have to be scouting every toll road and seeing what kind of changes are happening and when.
Well,
I don't think Uber though has the capability. I mean, most people.
Well, then
a lot of companies don't. I mean, look at how many things fall through the cracks because there's rules over here, rules over there, rules that change, and you can't keep up with it just because it's overwhelming. Now that would be something that would be great for an AI program to come out and say, hey, look at all the toll roads that we have, look at like continually check against them when it comes to if there's any toll discrepancies or changes and things like that. But until those systems are built, you're doing manual reviews and things like that. That's
if I did not, if this,
I mean, it's the same thing as maps. Like if you go on to Waze or something, do you think that street will close or that the closed road is reported by the construction company? No, that's by the people who are using the app.
Okay, so I buy your point there. However, this driver was shortchanged 52 trips already, and he had gone to Uber and support and reported this.
I think this is on the driver. So
Okay,
driver
hold on a
should have been paying attention to that from
No, he
7-1
did. He did pay
through.
attention. Hold on, you're not listening. He did pay attention. What I'm saying is that he went to Uber, reported it multiple times. See, you can see it's 52 times on this first, second, third, fourth, and I have all the history of this. This is the final. This is the ending, happy ending for the driver, of course.
Okay,
In this
well,
case.
well, though that information was left out.
Well, yeah, I'm telling you. So
So-
if I did not get involved, and if I did not send this to Uber, and if Uber said, "Oh shit, yeah, okay, yeah, our bad, we're going to reimburse you," none of this would take place. So this driver was asking, this is just one bridge or highway in one part of the country times tens of thousands of toll roads and millions of drivers. And if Uber is going to turn, to the driver, say, "Hey, report this," which he did, but Uber said, "Oh no," they didn't even respond to his support messages, and that's when I got involved, and that's what I don't want to do, folks. I don't want now 1,000 emails from you saying, "Oh, they didn't pay my toll." Once in a while, I'll pull a string and I'll help you guys out, but my job is just to report. My job is not to play Uber or Lyft support or DoorDash support. I do it because I'm a nice guy, but I think Uber's just saying clearly in this saying that, yeah, you have to report within 10 days of the discrepancy is bullshit to me, for the fact that I did report within 10 days, but you didn't respond at all. And
well,
then
at that point, that's a problem that Uber needs to have
Yeah.
face. But
Yeah.
if you're continually showing that, like, hey, I took a toll road, it changed on 7-1. I took a ride literally on 7-1, and later that day I emailed you the discrepancy and nothing was taken into account or anything about it. That at that point, I think they could tell him to go. He could go tell him to go pound salt over at Uber. But when it comes to anything else, yeah, I mean, if you're just noticing that after, let's say from 7/1/2025, and you're just doing that on, April 25th, 2026, then and you're trying to go back on 52 trips, I can understand where they're like, look, we might not be able to respond to that, or we might not be able to reimburse you, because they do have a requirement that says you should have your policy changed. But the problem also is, why should you see some sort of issue change when it comes to a fare discrepancy when the passenger makes it 3.5 months later?
Yeah, well, I think
keep it all into one.
as a technology company, supposedly, I think they will have an easier time to figure out. I'm pretty sure they have a department that looks into these things and updates tolls. And it's not the first time I got this. This one I got involved because this guy said this has been going on for over a year. I got in touch with Uber multiple times. They're not doing anything. Can you look into it? And I looked into it, and then I got a good result. Like I said, folks, please, pretty please, do not email me with every toll non-reimbursement that you have experienced.
Hey,
I did it for one.
Sergio, my toll just changed, and I need you to fix it.
Yeah, I'll change your toll too. Yeah,
But now go back to all the other drivers who have not been paid out for the last 9 months or whatever.
This driver is in Florida, right? So hundreds of thousands of drivers, they didn't get paid that 6 cents. Now, I wonder if Uber did go pay the difference to all the other drivers because we caught this one. I'm not sure. So if you did get change, if you didn't get a miscellaneous adjustment, it's probably because of this toll. So
yeah.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club, with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you get notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.